This is Mark from NYSMusic, and I'm here with Dan from Nothing More. Thank you for taking the time to sit with us today.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Let's talk about, this is a new Monster Energy Outbreak tour. Just started last week. What's been going on? I mean, I know you guys just played in Boston last night. How's the tour been so far?
Yeah, tour so far has been amazing. This tour is kind of a big deal for us because it's the last national tour we're doing on this album. So basically, once this tour is over, we go across the pond one more time, and then we stop touring. We've been pretty much on the road straight since last March, so we're all excited to get back in the studio and release a new record.
I was going to say, you guys got the European run, and then you guys are doing dates with Shinedown and Breaking Ben.
And then, that's going to be awesome, too.
What's next after the new year? Any album plans coming, or?
Yeah, no, that's it. Like, just the album.
Okay.
So we'll be working, 50, 60 hours a week, finishing up the writing process and recording for the next record. So
we won't see you doing like 50 more shows.
Yeah, no, everyone I come across now is like, oh, I've seen you like 6 times this year. It's like, no, it's definitely something to celebrate. But we're ready to, get back into the studio and release some new material.
It's certainly not a bad thing. I know you guys just did K-Rockathon here in Syracuse.
Yeah.
I was up in Montreal when you guys did that show. What are your favorite, festival-wise? I know you guys are doing Rock Allegiance soon. I'll be there for that.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about playing the festivals?
The coolest thing really is that we'll usually be on a tour with a couple of bands, and it's cool to, I don't know, it's like a high school reunion or something. Like, you go to the festival and there's all these friends from other groups and crew members and things like that and it's still, being a fan of music, that's where we get to see concerts finally. Like, the other day we played, I can't remember the name, it was in Baltimore, but none of us had ever seen Clutch play, and they were playing the same festival as us, just a couple slots after us on our stage.
STP play that one?
Yeah, it's Shindig.
Yep.
And it's stuff like that, we played with AWOL Nation the other day, and it's like, we're never going to play a club show with AWOL Nation.
Right.
But to get to go out and play a festival date, it's cool, because you play, and then you get to be a fan all over again, and go out and rock out with a group you've never seen.
Yeah, it's kind of just like a big party.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Totally. Let's talk about your live show. I know you guys did the tour video preview with you welding all the instruments together. You want to talk about how that started and how the your live performance kind of developed over the years, or is that something you guys have always done?
Yeah, when we kind of took the vow of poverty a decade ago, we kind of said that we weren't just entering the music industry, but kind of the entertainment industry on the whole, and that was when, I don't know, we kind of wrapped our head around the idea of creating a more interesting show than a normal rock band that would just go and play their songs. And me and Mark actually kind of came up with the idea for the first bass solo. We were working a really awful UPS job loading jets, and had the idea to, have someone come up behind me and play the low end while I do a funk solo up top. And we took it to band practice, and Johnny was still just our drummer at that point, and he's like, what would it sound like if I put drumsticks on it? And that was kind of the invention that, from there, sparked everything else. We did that for the first time live, and it, for whatever reason, as dumb and simple as it is, just really connected with everybody. And for me, as the builder, I didn't know how to do anything back in those days, but I had the idea to play a piano. And then I built some crude stand out of a tripod with a plank of wood, and it was what it was. But then I had the idea for it spinning, and had a friend of mine that was a mechanical engineer that he's seen these awful crude things that I built. And he's like, you really should just get a welder and start making things out of metal. And per his advice, I went and bought a cheap welder and kind of became obsessed with it, and now it's a big passion of mine.
Do you do it? Yeah, I was gonna say, do you do anything else besides the instrument stuff?
No, I mean, there hasn't been any time. I make Christmas gifts, art pieces for that. But yeah, it was cool. I've I've tried to build things before. I'm an awful carpenter, and I can't paint or anything like that, but something about metal I just clicked with. So, and it's been cool being with these guys to where, I don't know, it's just, everything's encouraged, and we're all able to like refine each other's ideas. So it's not just like me building something and that's that. It's like kind of a collective thought, and I'm able to actually go and create the physical product and things like that.
That's cool, because like you guys all get like involved with it, so it's not just something that you use live. It's you, Mark, Johnny.
Yeah.
And you guys, that's definitely probably your highlight of the live show. And from what I've seen, festivals and other shows, like the crowd just goes absolutely wild when you guys take that out, and
totally.
The crowd loves it.
Yeah, and it's fun for us too, because I couldn't imagine a more fun band to play with, because every night I'm doing something, I get to play a little drums and then put the bass on a stand that's like bouncing, and every night's sloppy and just a mess, and it's fun. It's a little scary too.
It is. But it's as I said, it's very cool.
I appreciate it.
It's very unique. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that. Now, when was the first time you guys ever used that? Because I know you guys did the tour with Five Finger Death Punch and Volbeat.
Yeah.
And I think that was like the first time I had seen you guys. Were you guys using that? We'll call it. Do you have a name for it? Your contraption?
Yeah, we call it the Bassinator.
The Bassinator.
But it goes into what's called Drumtron, which is the metal drum set at the front of the stage that I built for Johnny. So it, the names kind of vary. But yeah, the Bassinator. But yeah, we've had it for, I think, 2 years now. And I've been working on like another show idea that was actually supposed to debut this tour, but it just, I lost it in like the final details, and I couldn't finish it. But yeah, that's definitely something we're going to be pushing in the future, and not something like a spinning bass isn't going to be something that's going to be in the set forever. So we plan on kind of evolving past it.
New cool stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. I guess for the last question, let's talk about, you guys just lost drummer Paul. He stepped down. Was that something that you guys saw coming, or was it kind of just like all of a sudden one day he was like, hey guys, I'm leaving?
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit sudden. We knew that he kind of didn't like crowds and being... It's very easy to just get kind of swamped by people after a show kind of thing. And there was a point in the last couple months where we could tell that something was bothering him all the time. And but we had no idea of the severity, because, he's just such like a strong individual and a guy that will really like do anything for the band and for the greater whole. And it was a bit of a shock, just because we learned what was bothering him, and it's like, oh man, that is something, being around people is something that's central to being a touring musician.
Especially for how much you guys tour too.
Yeah. So we were all, when we heard what the issue was, it was like, that's like the one thing you don't want, and then for it to very quickly find out that, yeah, he decided that it just wasn't what he wanted to do. But, we left on totally good terms. Like, this industry is just something you have to be happy in. It's too hard. You're going too much to sacrifice something like that. If
you don't want to lose a friendship over something like that.
Yeah, oh, totally. So there's no bad blood at all. But, I don't know, we lucked out, and we couldn't really announce that he left when he told us, because we did have tours coming up.
Right, this tour was already announced. And then you guys got Ben in the band.
So we kind of started secretly searching and asking some really respected drummers in the industry if they know any guys. And, and Ben, we literally had never played with him until a week before this tour left.
Wow.
We'd seen him, he sent us some videos of him playing our songs. So we're like watching with headphones on a private YouTube channel, and it's like, well, it looks good, I think. I don't know, it's a totally different thing being around somebody. And
we'll talk about Ben again. Basically, to recap, you guys were watching his YouTube videos. He looked good.
Yeah. And yeah, he was a guy we had never met before. He used to be in a band called Digital Summer, who we've heard of and kind of have run across several members of theirs over the years. But it was really just a blind recommendation, and we went for it, you know. And he was the best out of all the video submissions. And I don't know, drums are such a live, like, how hard a drummer hits and how he hits the drums really makes a difference when you're, like, in the room with them. So it was such a scary decision to go off of a video like that. But he's done nothing but exceed all of our expectations. Awesome. As a drummer and both as an individual, like, he's a pleasure to be around. And I don't know, we couldn't have asked for it to work out better than this on such an important tour for us.
And it's last minute, so
last minute too. Yeah,
like everything's coming together.
Yeah,
pretty well.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I mean, even just being available, that's a big thing too. And he was in just the perfect spot to, you know.
That's awesome.
You know, jump on a bus for a couple months and go overseas and things like that.
Now, is he going to be a full-time member? Because I know some bands, when say a member drops out of the band, bands will like initiate them. Like you've seen it with like Slipknot. You know, they won't say the new guys are permanent members. Is he part of the family now, or
it's something kind of to be determined. You know,
okay.
Like we have several months with him. It's kind of like dating, you know. And this band's eaten through members over the last decade we've been together. And one thing we've learned is it does take a little bit of time to like see someone's true colors. So we don't really jump in bed immediately ever, but I don't know. You know, I think everything at this point is just awesome, and everything's clicking and vibing, and we're super happy and stoked for the future. So yeah, so we'll see.
Awesome.
We'll see.
Well, best of luck to you guys. I hope that the rest of the tour goes well. Any last things you want to say to the fans?
I don't know. Thanks for all the support. We wouldn't be here without you, and if we don't see you on this tour, we'll see you once that new record drops and we're out at it again.
Awesome. Thank you.